So ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you Kim Hill, our very first Chief Disability Officer.
Hi, my name is Kim Hill Ridley, and I am the Chief Disability Officer for Governor Hochul. February 14th, 2023 marks the year anniversary of my appointment to this position, and I could not be more grateful to the Governor for having the faith in me to lead the office of the Chief Disability Officer. I've spent the last 25 years advocating for New Yorkers with disabilities, first in the Assembly and now here, and I am beyond proud to not only be here, but of everything we have accomplished in one short year.
Hi, my name is Megan Parker, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Chief Disability Office. I'm a longtime disability rights advocate, and I'm firmly committed to ensuring that disabled people have access to all the programs and services they need to live, work, and travel independently in their home communities.
I am Ben Tapa, a deaf Nepali American lawyer working in the Chief Disability Office. It gives me great joy to help people access services, get accommodation, and to become integrated into our communities to the fullest extent. Thank you for welcoming me here today.
My name is Kim Butchin, and I'm the Executive Assistant at the Chief Disability Office. One of my favorite things about my position is organizing connections. Connections we've made with the Executive Chamber, New York State agencies, vast amount of organizations, and simply each and every individual we've had the honor to connect with.
In consideration of the fact that 366 days ago, this office did not yet exist, I am blown away at all that we have accomplished in such a short period of time. First and foremost, I have been lucky enough to have put together a team of 4 people who not only represent several different disabilities, but also complement each other's strengths in ways that I could not have even imagined. By the end of last June, we were completely staffed and pretty much settled, which was a huge accomplishment in and of itself. While I was able to hit the ground running last February with creating job descriptions, interviewing and hiring my staff, and also meeting with dozens upon dozens of stakeholders, advocates, people with disabilities, family members, agency commissioners and their staffs, and executive chamber staff from almost every portfolio, it wasn't until we were all in place that a lot of the in-depth work could begin that led to such things as the launch of the first ever Disability Rights and Employment Awareness Month Symposium, which we call DREAM, and a job fair accompanying it, a 32nd anniversary celebration of the ADA, in which Governor Hochul became the first in-office governor in recent history to acknowledge the importance of this day with an event, direct input into both the state of the state and budget that led to the inclusion of proposals for an enormous expansion of New York's Medicaid buy-in for working people with disabilities, the well-overdue reinvigoration of the Interagency Coordinating Council for services to persons who are deaf, deafblind, or hard of hearing, a launch of an inclusive internship program that will hopefully lead prospective employees to state jobs, a commitment of an executive order to declare New York as a model employer, improvements to the 55B program, and the ability for public bodies serving people with disabilities to continue to meet virtually, even though the ability to do so through COVID has ended. In addition, we've met with hundreds of people and groups and will continue doing so. One of our main priorities is to ensure every New Yorker with a disability has an open door to the executive chamber in this state. We've done site visits and look forward to doing many more. And we've attended a wide variety of celebrations within the disability advocacy community, and we hope to continue with many more of them as well.
On the 32nd anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, Governor Hochul signed legislation establishing supported decision-making agreements in New York. Supported decision-making agreements are an important alternative to guardianship for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. These agreements allow people to make decisions that impact their lives with the help and support of people they trust while retaining all of their legal and civil rights.
This is Ben speaking. The Chief Disability Office works on issues relating to deafness and hard of hearing and deaf-blind, emergency preparedness, housing, transportation, health care, including Medicaid and managed care, education and transition services, language access, especially for the deaf-blind, long-term COVID, disability rights.
Scheduling. This is one of my main daily tasks and one that is vital to the productivity of not only our office, but all that are involved. Taking care to create an accessible meeting and or event benefits not only individuals with visible or known disabilities, but also helps to ensure that all participants, including individuals with non-obvious disabilities and or chronic health conditions, are able to fully engage in the event.
Chief Disability Office is responsible for chairing the state's Most Integrated Setting Coordinating Council, or MISC. The MISC is tasked with advancing the state's Olmstead efforts. Currently, the MISC is developing an updated Olmstead plan, which was last released in 2013. The new plan will provide a roadmap for how the state intends to advance community integration for all New Yorkers with disabilities.
As of a year ago on Valentine's Day, New Yorkers with all types of disabilities, including those with physical and sensory disabilities, again had representation within the executive branch, in particular thanks to Governor Hochul within the executive chamber. When the Office of the Chief Disability Officer was signed into law, it became one of only a few states in the country that had an office established in law assigned to solely focus on disability issues within the executive chamber, and it was given an allocation of 4 full-time employees. Even more exciting, the CDO was charged with several important responsibilities, including overseeing the council responsible for creating and maintaining an Olmstead plan in New York State, ensuring ADA compliance on the state level and making sure that each agency ADA coordinator is in place and is properly trained, advising on disability policy both within the executive chamber and the state agencies, breaking down the silos that inherently exist with the state agencies and replacing them with collaborative working relationships. Work with state agencies to develop legislation and potential regulatory changes, and significantly improving the unemployment rate for people with disabilities. And while we solely focus on physical and sensory disabilities because there is no one state agency that does so, we also very closely work with and collaborate with the Human Services and Mental Hygiene portfolio as they cover the state agencies who represent people with behavioral and intellectual and developmental disabilities. We also interact regularly with the health, economic development, transportation, housing, education, public safety, and not-for-profit portfolios, as they all have issues pertaining to people with disabilities within their agencies as well.
Presenting to Kimberly T. Hill for your unwavering commitment to upholding the Americans with Disabilities Act and the protection it provides under Title II. Kim, your leadership as Chief Disability Officer for the state of New York is uplifting people with disabilities, ensuring that we have access to the critical services we need. Your compassionate service to the disability community has ensured all New Yorkers throughout our city and our state can live purposeful and fulfilling lives. And on the occasion of the 32nd anniversary of the ADA, we are proud to applaud you for working to forge a brighter future where all New Yorkers can thrive. Mayor?
Nothing about us without us. What does this mean? How can decisions be made that affect individuals with disabilities without seeking their input? Nothing about us without us. These are not just words. This slogan was adopted by the disability community to highlight the full need for direct participation in all decisions that impact their lives. It's a slogan that's displayed front and center in our office. We are committed to uphold the slogan in all aspects of our work. This is one of the reasons our office was created, and this is one of the many reasons we come to work every day. We are committed to you. We are here for you.